December 1944, the Philippine Sea. Admiral Halsey's Third Fleet is spread across gray water. Carriers, battleships, cruisers, and a screen of destroyers guarding a web of oilers. The plan is simple. Refuel, rearm, and strike Japan's airfield supporting the fight for Leyte. Then the barometers start to fall. A tropical disturbance has been reported east of Luzon. Forecasts are thin, radio fixes unreliable, and the storm track uncertain. Halsey orders course changes to meet the oilers. The fleet chases fuel. The Typhoon chases the fleet. By the morning of December 18th, the two collide. Winds rise past hurricane force. Seas build into moving cliffs 60 feet and more. Flight decks vanish behind walls of green water. Barometers plunge. Radios fill with static and short, tight voices. The order to refuel is canceled and reissued as squalls rotate through. Some destroyers, already light on fuel and top-heavy with wartime additions, become unstable. Every degree of roll steals more stability. Every rooster tail of spray robs the turbines of air. Then the storm takes ships. USS Hull loses steering, heels past the point of no return, and capsizes. USS Monaghan fights for hours before turning turtle. USS Spence, starved of ballast and battered by boarding seas, rolls and does not come back. Nearly 800 sailors are lost in minutes that feel like years. Those who make it into the water face a new enemy: wind, waves, and exposure, while their shipmates on surviving destroyers throw lines that blow back into their faces. On the carriers, the danger is different but just as lethal. Aircraft break their lashings and slam across hangar decks. Fires blossom in the dark. On USS Monterey, a young officer named Gerald R. Ford helps lead a hose team through choking smoke to keep the ship from becoming a funeral pyre. Other carriers, Cowpens, San Jacinto, Langley, report aircraft gone over the side, elevators jammed, antennas sheared. Across the fleet, more than 100 planes are destroyed or washed away without a single enemy in sight. For hours, the storm circles like a boxer, its eyes slipping unpredictably. Helm orders are guesses guided by barograph needles and the practiced instincts of captains who have never seen seas like this. Some ships survive only by streaming anchors astern to keep their bows to the seas. Others ride the rudder and pray. The battleships take green water over their forecastles and shudder. Cruisers show their bilges. Destroyers vanish into troughs and claw back up with screws screaming in air. By night, the worst has blown through, but the reckoning has only begun. Oil slicks stretch where hulls should be. Debris, planks, lockers, life rings, marks where crews fought and lost. Rescue destroyers turn searchlights into the spray, hauling survivors aboard one by one. Men lashed to kapok vests, men who cannot feel their hands, men too tired to speak. In the quiet that follows, questions rise with the mist. How did the most powerful fleet on Earth sail into the core of a typhoon? Why did so many ships capsize? A court of inquiry will find failures and fix them. Weather support was inadequate. Storm evasion doctrine was fuzzy. The fleet's understanding of typhoon structure, its dangerous quadrants, the telltale barometric fall, was incomplete. Some destroyers had steam too light. Fuel that should have been ballast sat in tanks they never got to fill. The court criticizes decisions at the top, but Halsey is not relieved. The war still needs him, and the fixes can't wait. Change comes fast. The Navy builds a stronger aerology service, creates dedicated typhoon tracking, and pushes storm avoidance training down to every wardroom. New rules demand minimum fuel and ballast for small ships, stricter securing for sea-on-flight and hangar decks, and better procedures for refueling in heavy weather, or not refueling at all. Barometers become as sacred as compasses. Captains learn to read the winds shift, the seas set, and the barographs dive like scripture. The storm earns a name sailors never forget: Typhoon Cobra, Halsey's Typhoon. It is not the last time the Pacific will test the fleet. Another typhoon will hammer it in 1945. But Cobra's lesson sticks. Nature is not neutral. She is an adversary with her own doctrine, and she punishes haste, pride, and poor assumptions as surely as any enemy admiral. Think of the images that never appear on recruiting posters. A destroyer's inclinometer passing 60 degrees. A chief petty officer leading men to the weather deck to cut loose a jammed anchor as a wave erases the horizon. A carrier's hangar where sailors wrestle a flaming hellcat into a corner while the deck heaves like a living thing. A radio man holding a handset to his ear, listening for distant ships that will never reply again. Typhoon Cobra did not break the U.S. Pacific Fleet forever. Within days, the surviving ships reformed and returned to war.